25, not 23. To order. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And join me for a moment of silent prayer. Amen. All right, everybody. Is there a motion? Agenda item 3 is approval of tonight's agenda. Is there a motion to approve that? All those in favor signify by saying yes.
Yes.
Opposed? Motion carries. Agenda item 4 is the time that we provide for citizen comments for residents in the in Orange City. So I don't know if there's anybody here to express any concerns to the council on a non-agenda item. Okay, don't see anybody, so we'll skip that. And then agenda item number 5 is we need a motion to approve of minutes. This is from October 3 of 2025, October 6 of 2025, October 7 of 2025, and October 13 of 2025. But we can do that all in one motion, right, John? Okay. So is there, if you've had a chance to look those over, I would entertain a motion for approval.
So moved. Support.
All those in favor signify by saying yes.
Yes.
Opposed? Motion carries. This is a time of year that we get to hear from different organizations throughout the city and ones that we support, and like to always have an update. So we're going to start with the Dutch Heritage Boosters, which is Randy Van Persum and Bill Minnick. Welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you.
And you handed us a sheet, right?
That was a balance sheet and profit loss statement that we requested each.
Oh, I gotta get out of the way, don't I?
Presenters that
Perfect.
receive any funds from the city.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you. Well, thank you for allowing us to take a few moments of your time and just express our appreciation and thanks for your support, because every year we appreciate the support that you do provide us, and that support helps us do what we do and what we love to do. So right here is just a list of the members, and as you can see, or maybe not remember, but we just had one of our oldest and longest members retire. He was not a member who started the Dutch Heritage Boosters, but he did work with that group quite a long time. Keith Allen was a member, and he worked with the founding group, and he worked with us for quite a while and until this summer. So we did lose Keith, but he loved working with the Dutch Heritage Booster. Okay. Okay, I think I missed. Is that right? Okay. The Dutch Heritage Boosters, we preserve the heritage in order to promote our heritage in the future. Our past is important to us. There are several things that are a constant to us as we work with in town. The Century Home, the Little White Store, Sinterklaas Day, and the Heritage Walk and the Parade of Flags. Those are constant things that we're always working on and working with, then along with our special events and other activities that we will combine with and work with other groups on within the community and try to promote the Dutch heritage. The Century Home is from October 1 to October 1 of 24 to 25. We've worked on it and done a lot of preservation work on it. We've worked on the outside. There's been significant fascia and eaves repair and painting to the outside and inside on the sunroom repair, remodeling, repair of the maids staircase. That was done by Rudy Volkers, and did a fabulous job on not just ripping out the plaster, but repairing the plaster. So it has maintained the integrity of the history of the house. The derecho did quite a bit of damage to the yard. And the trees that were planted in the yard by Anthony Benton, we lost 4 of them. So 4 trees, and that was a loss, and it just seemed empty in the yard right now. So we're going to try to decide what we want to replace the trees with, and how we're going to plant, or what trees we're going to plant, or what we're going to do in the spaces. We did plan a 125th birthday celebration for the house because it turned 125 years. But the derecho kind of messed with our plans, so we're moving that celebration to around spring of 2026, sometime around the Tulip Festival time. We had some creative authors within the group who wrote the book Klaus and the Century Home, which was a popular children's book illustrated by a student from Dordt University, and that book sold quite a few copies and is still selling. It's a cute book. If you haven't seen it or haven't read it, we encourage you. You can purchase it offline from Amazon, or you can also just ask us and we'll get you a copy. Purchase a copy for you. But we've had significant costs that we've had to put into the house. You can see there is $53,350 that we paid for the house, and it was $8,000 plus to remove the trees that we lost in the derecho.
In Little White Store, we also do preservation and promotion. This past year, we paid $17,400 in investment. That includes a fence. The fence was maintained. It was actually held up by duct tape, I think. But it was redone, and that looks really nice back there. We also always have minor repairs and equipment replacement. And promotion, obviously we do puffer cheese, although we're now serving real butter. It does add a little different taste, so people have to get used to it, but it's better and healthier for you, actually. And in the outdoor back patio, we're always amazed how many people actually use that. I go back there a lot inside the building, and there's people always back there doing Bible studies, just talking, having lunch break, having noon hour, so it's really nice to have that back there. Sinterklaasdag tonight, in about an hour, I have a meeting with our subcommittee, and we'll be planning for this year's. And we paid for a new sound system this past year for $2,500, so we use that for the first time in 2024. We are training new puppeteers, and we hope to partner with the Arts Council this year to have a craft. We always used to have a craft. That sort of fell through during the carnival. This year they wanted to do something, and that'd be a perfect thing for them to do. But I think they might be making a windmill, but we'll details on that later. The Parade of Flags, every Tulip Festival, like Bill said, we have this. We have ongoing maintenance, and for the Dutch Heritage Walk, ongoing maintenance, there's always work to be done on those. We have donated several carts, and then we have a new tricycle for the Groenteboer. So that is much easier now to drive. The additional accomplishments this year, we did a lot of other things. We had our christening of the Oranjestad DHB Tulip Bulb in May. A lot of you were there. Of course, as Calvinists, we love the word tulip, but baptizing sounded a little Sputnist, so we changed it to christening. Custom markers for tulip bulb. You can see that in the lower left-hand corner. Jerry Dykstra made a lot of those for those in the downtown park, so people would pick out which ones we were made. We donated to the Children's Dutch Dance costume. That's what Renee Hagstead is in charge of, so we made a donation for them. And we had the brick return for the pump's patio. As you know, we're moving the pump, and it's looking really nice on what they're doing. We're very pleased with that. But the people who tore up the patio, they took really 3 days of great care, and we were able to contact 184 people who donated. Only one brick was actually not salvageable. So we're very pleased with that. And we'll have a new time capsule. The old time capsule was in a ammo box, which is rusting through. And so we took things out, we bought a higher quality one, we added new stuff to it, and we put everything in archival plastic. So when we open up in 2070, right? 2070, I'll be 101, so I hope I remember everything.
Okay. Again, we just appreciate the support that the city and the council brings to the Dutch Heritage Boosters. It really is appreciated. Thank you. Is that the last one? Okay. Any questions or comments before we close out for you?
I appreciate you guys collaborating with the other entities, you know, the library, the Arts Council, the Chamber, you know, so.
Yeah, the Arts Council has approached us to do more things this year together, collaboratively, so we're going to plan to do that. And the school, he talked about how Renee Guthmiller.
I knew what you were talking about.
Yeah, Renee Guthmiller is a second grade teacher who organizes some of the Dutch dance game stuff with the kids. A lot of the children, a lot of the kids who come and want to dance don't have Dutch costumes. So she, for 36 years, as long as she has been doing this, has either collected or made Dutch costumes. The costumes that she's had are really kind of falling apart. So she has been working with some sewers who are making more Dutch costumes that are easier to size with elastic and things like that. And so she needed money for shoes, for buttons, for scarves, for hats. Those are the things. So we donated and collaborated with her to help her clothe these young children who didn't have opportunity to have a Dutch costume. So that was another proud moment, I think, that we've had. So,
do you have any large capital projects on the horizon that you know of?
well,
Yeah, so it's under wraps yet. We can't talk about it. But yes, there are some things we would like to get multi-organizations that we're having our first meeting about this week or next week.
Yeah, we do. We want to, we would like to do some things. Is going to involve some what's the word? You know, collecting money. We have to do some work with, collect fundraising.
So just,
I was just
going to say, anytime you need the town crier, you just call him, and he will help you.
He will jump into motion.
Yes, he will announce.
Day is coming. He usually does that for Santa Claus.
I know he does.
Yeah, Santa Claus is happy about that.
I would just add, we had a lot of conversations with the project in the park about how we could work together, and you know, there's been some compromise. There's been some understanding. I'm glad to hear you say that it's looking good there.
It looks really nice.
And you know, the actual, I think they found out that the former pump actually had some structural things that needed some improvements. So really appreciate you guys' good communication while we tried to work through that. So that we could recognize a wonderful gift from the Vogels, but also honor the Dutch Heritage Boosters. So.
Well, we're appreciative, very appreciative of what they're doing now. It's looking really nice, and we like the placement of where it is.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks so much. And now we'll welcome Ruth Rocker for the Cemetery Heritage Committee. Thank you, Ruth. Thank you, Bill and Randy.
Thank you.
I'm glad I could give you the 2025 report of the cemetery. We've been very, very busy this year. Our 2025 cemetery pre-planning began in the winter of what we hope to accomplish after a successful 2024 season, when 235 headstones were restored, preserved in sections A, B, and C. Headstones with issues were signaled out as possibilities, so all the basic information on the form could be filled out, and Dennis and Hardog could take the pre-preservation photos and get them on the backs of the forms with photo corners. Having done this ahead saved us a ton of work for our work days, and that has worked well. February 28, Ruth discovered 2 white marble headstones, 30 inches tall and 3 inches thick, flat on the ground with dirt flung over about half of the headstones. Ruth reported this to the police, thinking it might be vandalism. Police and Earl Wallster checked it out and decided it was frost freeze-out. Dirt was dumped off before a photo was taken. Roger and Ruth Roger reset it a little deeper into the ground, up to the words now, stomped it down more firmly, and hopefully it'll stay standing. The officers, Daryl, Raj, and Ruth Roger, decided taking out some poor condition plot rails would cut down time spent trimming with the weed eaters. A heavier grade of concrete was used in those early years, plus they had continuous steel re-rod in the middle of these rails. After a few hours of taking turns with a sledge to break up the cement with not getting a great distance accomplished, we changed our minds. Preserving headstones would make a better use of our time. The group volunteers Saturday mornings began April 12 compared to July 13 in 2024. This day it was 40 degrees, so we needed hooded sweatshirts or jackets. The same 6 to 11 volunteers again showed up. Our volunteers were Fred Brown, John Youngma, Pete Stadema, John Van Kausbeek, Bob Roars, John Koyman, Don Post, Daryl Van Klumpenberg, Raj and Ruth Roger, and Gail Van Grau, who was also our workday photographer. Raj and Ruth also worked together on many weekday mornings to accomplish more. The first few weeks we worked in sections A, B, and C, and then we spent the next 6 Saturday mornings in section F. We then moved on to other sections wherever the headstones needed attention. Over 70 individuals listed in the database and plot sales copies never had a headstone. They are Orange City's forgotten residents. Our organization was given a $10,000 donation from the Betterment Organization in late 2024. These funds will be used for footstones on these residents instead of using on preservation supplies. Couples or parents that lost more than one child will be 10 by 20 by 4, and individuals will be 8 by 16 by 4. They will be rose brown granite with light inset and black lettering, even with the grass, so the moors can go right over top of them. This is what they look like when they're set in the ground, even with grass. We have 19 set, 12 more to go. And they're not even at the Monument Company yet. So as soon as we get those, we will be setting those 12. We were deeply saddened by the tree damage at West Lawn that occurred in the early morning hours of June 29. Many of these headstones had been preserved in 2024. The limbs were over or on 30 plus headstones, with 13 having various degrees of damage. The damage was from being swept off their location, the head broken off a little lamb on a child's headstone, the finial broke off with pieces broken out, and incidentally, it's back together. It's not on yet, but it's back together. And metal bays cracked up from the weight of a large limb. The tall headstone parts broke apart at the sections and were scattered among the limbs. We were grateful for the city and the parks employees for the tree cleanup and for heavy equipment standing the headstones tops back on their bases. A couple are still off location. New Civil War medallions were ordered and placed by Pete DeVere and Bill Fleetstra of the Legion Post. These 7 local men and women were Marinus Reinsberger, Henry Vanderwa, Joseph Voss, Gijsbert Versteeg, John Warren Lee, Ari Vamaro, and Rosamonda Lore Madison. U.S. flags were in the medallions for the cemetery walk. like it was Memorial Day. It was awesome. Gelvin Grau volunteered to stand at the council podium on July 9 with a request to take down these 100-plus-year-old maple trees along 7th Street that did the damage on the June 29 windstorm. No action was taken. Then during the night of July 28, the derecho struck Orange City with major damage all over town from fallen limbs and branches. The cemetery took a second hit, with limbs all over the cemetery. Again, multi-headstones were under, but the damage was not as severe. Individual headstone tops were flat on their face in sections A, D, and F. Members of our committee helped pick up and pile branches scattered among the headstones along the cemetery roads. It was almost 2 weeks before the limbs and the branches were all cleaned up. The mowing did not get done in a timely manner. The grass got way too long and was blown up against the headstones. Our committee could not do the D2 monument spray and brush until the grass was cleaned off, which was double work for us. While we were working at the cemetery, many community residents came and voiced us dissatisfaction the way the cemetery looked and was cared for. So on August 4, Ruth Rogger again stands up at the council podium asking to please take down these large maples before any more headstones are damaged. I also gave them some stats of the headstones preserved in 25 and the volunteer hours put in. We realized it might take some time with all the damage around town, but it was after that council meeting that the decision was made for the trees to come down. Our request was answered when the trees started coming down on August 6th. Thank you for the cleanup as well. The last tree came down on September 22. The stump grinding was September 24. And September 25, they leveled the sites with black dirt. We had asked to give a cemetery program at nights at the museum. They were scheduled over a year out. But with all we got done at the cemetery in 2025, we decided on a walk with a day chosen as September 20 at 10 a.m. and 1 p.m. Much needed to be done before the cemetery was ready for this walk with the grass issues. Orange City Christian School was called if they would be willing to have a raking party at the cemetery. September 11, after school, 44 5th and 6th graders and 3 instructors came. If you didn't have a rake, you were on the tub grass pickup crew, which filled a pickup heaping full in a good hour with a section plus part of another section completed with grateful appreciation. The students had so many questions about the cemetery that Ruth will present a program from their questions to the Orange City Christian School. Raj continued on cleaning the grass off the headstones, and Ruth raked and picked up the grass around. The cemetery now looks better than it's looked in a very long time. It was a nice overcast day for the walk, which stayed on the hard surface road around Section F, presenting more history and early residents, all different than the June 2023 walk. But only 23 people came to the walk. But what was encouraging was there were 7 of these 23 were Northwestern College students. It's great to see young people interest. Ruth did give the narration to some Landsmere residents who had walkers but were unable to stand that long. And the narration was also given at Prairie Ridge as an activity in the chapel. 31 people attended that activity, and it was held after the actual walk. Work continues on the D2 monument spraying and brushing while the temperature is 60 degrees or higher. It's taking much more product this year with the rough stones, sides, and the mold accumulation. Sealing also continues. We've gone through almost 25 gallons of D2 monument cleaner in 2025. In 2025, 587 headstones were preserved with 1,115 volunteer hours. No documentation hours on the forms are counted, so it's only hours at the cemetery. We now have 4 3-ring binders, 4 inches thick, arranged alphabetically for sections A, B, and C, and F, and a 5th binder has been started for the other multi-sections. We also have a workday plus storm damage photo album. All this information will go to Northwestern College Archives for cemetery history. I am humbled by what's been accomplished, and it is with grateful appreciation for each volunteer's role in the preservation for making the cemetery change from unintended neglect to a place where these residents can be honored and respected. It's an ongoing process, so we are in need of more volunteers to continue preserving, plus donations. 3 of our officers in 25 were 80 years old or more. Does it take a senior citizen to make things happen? With 1,115 hours, we spent considerable time out there. Now at the end, we have some requests and comments, questions. We thought maybe rear throw mowers would help the grass getting thrown against the headstones. I don't know if that's an option or not, or if there's some kind of alteration that you can do to the grass shoots so it doesn't throw them against the headstones. We'd like the mowers to slow down. Multi-headstones have been knocked off location, and veterans' medallion stakes have been bent over, and there's still some bent over. The holes in the grass road east of section C, we'd like if you could fill those. It's a bumpy ride, even going slow. That's be along Florida, where you go onto the grass road between sections A, B, and C. The 4th Street entrance flower sign moved further west. It's not the welcome sign after the new entrance. We're wondering if you're going to plant some trees where the large maples were taken down, and would you consider evergreens if you do plant other trees there? The database in the kiosk has been found sitting on top of its storage location. Do these plastic sleeves keep the moisture off the database names? And will this database book still be there when you get the new system online? Also wondering what happened to the gate panels of the north entrance. I reported sunken graves, 2 in section D and 1 in section F. As of last weekend, they were not filled in yet. And the one in section F is, you all of a sudden go down about this far, and it's all the way across the whole corridor. I asked for information in the last Capital Democrat for missing tops by Cato and Amau. And there's totally missing headstones with no markers that are along the Blacktop Road. We've got names, some of the dates, some of it was, this was gathered by Professor Kennedy some years back. He did write broken in 2 on some of them. That was the vandalism of 91. do the pictures of the new footstones, will they be included with cemetery data when you get the new pictures?
If you get them to me.
Okay. And maybe we need some guidance for the grant process. Does anybody have any questions?
Thank you for all your work.
This is my mission now that my husband has passed away. I went 2 and 3 times a day to him. Now I'm spending that at the cemetery instead, trying to make it a place where the residents are honored and respected.
Thank you. All right. We will move on to agenda item 7, which is Exhibit 2 in the packet, and that's the financial report. Is he in the hallway in detention again or something? Yep, there he is. Yeah.
All right, a couple comments on the cash report here for September 30. Again, just a quick, under road use tax, if you look under dispersed and road use tax, you see $226,000 as a dispersed. That's in regards to the trail on St. Paul. It's coming directly out of road use tax. Right underneath that is hotel motel tax. These are projects that have been approved, but if you're wondering what that makes up that 70, it is OC Arts for 25, Tulip Festival for 25, and Ragbride Committee for 20. And then under the tax increment financing, under the event center, there was a TIF rebate that we paid out in September. And then the other comment is under the capital projects, under housing capital project 304, the received number of $62,495 is the hospital share for the trail along the canals. They paid that. And then the dispersed amount is to Graves Construction for the shelter for 62 and Beck Engineering for shelter house pickleball courts for about 31. That's all I have, unless you guys have any other questions on the financial.
Questions? Is there a motion, excuse me, to approve?
So moved.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Then agenda item number 8 is the monthly bills, which is Exhibit 3.
Very bottom, Beck Engineering, we usually go through this on a monthly basis. So first line item is in regards to the trail. Second one is in regards to 7th Street project that Matt's going to talk about here later in the meeting. Last one on the line item there is shelter house. And then if you flip it over to page 2 at the very top, there's a little bit for 2nd Street and Delaware for 1567 there. Okay. Then about halfway down on page 2, Carico Aquatic, we did get you've heard about the moving the filter system from the basement of the pool outside. That is done, and that is this portion here that they did. It was $168,000 was the budgeted amount. Some of it was for concrete that we paid through GCC for. So this is just the filter replacement part of it. And then let's see, bottom of page 2, top of page 3. Salary assistance, Chamber of Commerce, that is a quarterly payment for $35 a year for that. On page, jumping ahead, unless you guys have questions, holler at me.
I have a question on that. Do we get a report from the Chamber and from the Tulip Festival Committee like we just got from the Dutch Heritage Boosters?
I have not submitted. I have not seen that, Rod. Earl,
Well, they normally would bring that to us when they would do their report. So sometime in the next 2 months, we have more agencies that will be doing their reports. So you should receive it at that time.
All right, page 4, Graves Construction, shelter house pay estimate, H&D Underground. I think the explanations are pretty good on where they did some electrical boring. these were all budgeted items that Matt submitted a year ago, so $82,000 worth there. Easter Lawn Care, this is the fall application. Just to break it down for you, the top number there is basically for some of our streets, alleyways. Second line item is parks. Third line item is event center. Fourth one there for 265 is library. And then the big one at the bottom, 2235, is cemetery. Fall application for rock. Page 6, Koopman's Concrete, intersection of Highway 10 in Michigan. It got completed. It's a budgeted item as well. Page 8, Northwestern College, lighting project for the stadium payment for $50,000. Bottom of page 9, reimbursing vendor is Ryan Keel for a mirror that we damaged on the semi. That invoice got duplicated, so it is only for one payment for $959.40. Page 10 at the bottom, Lou Corky, street foreman, ordered a bunch of his aggregate, like it says there, sand, rock, road gravel from Steve Brower for the year. Next big one on page 11, halfway down, Tyler Technologies. This is our financial and utility billing software. This is an annual payment for support. And on page 12, just a couple more of those pay estimates for the sidewalk and Vets Park with Vanderwent. And the very last one, Williams and Company, they were here in September and did the large share of the audit service for the city, so that's the last one. That's all I got. Any other questions?
Questions for Ken?
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Motion to approve?
Support.
All those in favor, signify by saying yes.
Yes.
Opposed? Motion carries. Agenda item number 9 is time and place for a public hearing to consider amending the city ordinance. Kurt, come on up, it's Exhibit 4, and we'll go ahead and open the public hearing. This is to get it up to state code, is that?
This will bring it up to state code, yep. So what we'll be amending is all international codes. We were at the 2015, we'll be going to the 2024, and then on the NEC, the National Electric Code, we'll be going from the 20 to the 23. And then this will basically match what the state did as of July 1st.
Any big changes for requirements that jump out at you?
Not a lot over the years, so yeah, it's all pretty much about the same. I think fire safety stuff changes a little bit, but other than that, it's pretty straightforward.
Any other questions, or is there a motion to approve? Oops, we gotta come out of the closed session. Anybody come forward with any concerns, or
No, didn't hear nothing.
anybody here to speak on anything? Okay, if they're not hearing any, we'll go ahead and close the public hearing. Then we need a motion to approve the first reading of ordinance number 860. All those in favor signify by saying yes.
Yes.
Opposed? Motion carries. And then it's up to the city council if you want to waive the second and third reading. I'm not sure that there's anything controversial or that what people would want to come forward about.
Not with it basically matching what the state did.
State did. It's just bringing it up to there. So that's up to you guys if you want to make a motion to approve or to waive the second and third reading. You can go ahead and do that.
I'll make that motion.
Support.
Any questions on that? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries, and we need a motion to approve ordinance number 860.
So moved.
Support. All those in favor signify by saying yes.
Yes.
Opposed. Motion carries. Good, thanks, everybody. Agenda item number 10 is rezoning of property. So then this also is, we need to, it is a public hearing, so we need to go ahead and open a public hearing on that. And I'll turn that to you, Kurt.
Yep, so the public hearing will be for the rezoning of the 2 parcels north of the Dollar Crush building that's shown to you in the exhibit.
Yeah, exhibit 4.
They currently are zoned C2 highway commercial and I1 light industrial, and the request is planning and zoning recommend changing it all to R2 medium to high density residential. And the only question that came up about it during planning and zoning is what would we do if they changed their mind on the northern part of that parcel, and then if anything would change for single family residence, we could do that at a replatting. And when we plat that area, we could just rezone it at that time. If we go to single family, so this would just be all R2.
So that isn't an issue.
No.
Could they build a single family in the R2s?
They could, but the problem is the setbacks. They'd have to ask for variances on all parcels or whatever. So the setbacks are a lot more for multifamily, farther from the lot lines. So you're going from the side yards are 8 feet to 25 feet. So so it's pretty drastic on setbacks. So that'd be the big reason of rezoning it back at the time of platting if they do. So.
Any other questions or comments from any? You haven't heard anything from anybody else, or?
No, the only question we have is basically from the neighbors. There's a few neighbors just asked what's going on there, and they've been in the process. They've been at the public hearings with planning and zoning and stuff, and they're all good with.
They get notifications, is that correct?
Yep.
Good, thanks for doing all that. So I don't know that there's any other comments, so we'll go ahead and close the public hearing. Then we need a resolution to approve the rezoning. Support. And then it is a resolution, so we'll do roll call, right?
Yes.
Daryl?
Yep.
Lydia? Yes. Darren?
Yes.
Rod?
Yes.
Excellent. Did I close that public hearing? Yeah. Okay. Okay, agenda item 11 is exhibit 6 in your packet, and we need to set the date for a public hearing on November 3.
Yep.
Is that correct?
Correct.
Exhibit 6.
So yeah, we're requesting a public hearing to dispose of city property. This property has been disposed of once when we went through the Flow Jumper Trail 9th edition. Due to the reduced price, city attorney advised us to dispose of it again and stating the price that we are disposing it at. So that's the reason for having to redispose of the lot. So we're asking to set the public hearing for November 3rd, basically to dispose the city lot to Habitat for Humanity. And it's stated in the resolution there, the $2,500 for it.
Okay. And that's a resolution too, so.
And this would be the corner lot there by Hillcrest on Juno and 15th.
Okay. The one in blue.
Yep.
Yep.
They said when they hope to build it yet?
Earl has probably been more in contact with Kurt Frangie than I have.
Yeah, they needed to, they're applying for some grants, and they needed to have the actual purchase complete. He told me that they hope to have a family selected by mid-November. So it would be a 26 project too.
Okay. Is there a motion for that resolution?
So moved.
And that is a resolution, so roll call and start with you, Daryl.
Yep.
Lydia? Yes. Darren?
Yes.
Rod?
Yes.
Rod.
Yes.
Excellent, thank you. Thanks so much, Kurt. Agenda item 12, water wastewater employee. I understand there's no recommendation yet, right? So we will kind of go by that and wait for the recommendation from staff. Agenda item 13 is 7th Street North paving project with the Iowa DOT agreement. That's exhibit 7.
Yeah, the agreement's a little bit long there,
Yeah.
but it's basically the state will be participating or providing a good share of the funding for this project. I think we've talked about it before. basically from 7th Street North from Ironwood to Florida will be total reconstruction. The base and everything will be dug up and then reconstructed as concrete road. And then from Florida to Frankfurt, that will be an overlay. Essentially, they call it a mill and fill. So we'll mill off some of that asphalt and fill that back up. So I think it's estimated to be a $1.9 to $2 million project. The state is participating with $880,000. The county has kind of shifted a little bit of their funding practices with some of these roads that come into the city. This is they are still participating on the order of $350,000 to $400,000, I believe. So then the city will be responsible for the rest of that. So with the DOT, Beck Engineering is finalizing the plans to send to the DOT for their review. We anticipate taking bids, or the DOT will take bids in January for that. And it's be a pretty attractive project, I think, especially at the DOT level. So hopefully you see that reflected in bids. But with that, we'll also be reaching out to property owners along there, especially with some of the coordination of construction and how that goes. So
those costs were from Ironwood to Frankfurt?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. That's a full project. So yes.
So two different contractors because one's concrete, one's.
But yeah, likely somebody will be the general and either sub out the asphalt or sub out the concrete that way. So yeah, we anticipate that. There's not a lot of utility work. Hit some of the curb and gutter sections along the asphalt that has settled down, redo some intersections. We're going to widen the north radiuses onto K64. Just do some general improvements to that area anyway. So, and by the way, the county the following year will be reconstructing K64 from Orange City to B40. So that's on 2027. Related to that. So with that, just recommend approving the agreement with the DOT for essentially lays out our responsibilities and their responsibilities and what we need to do in the end to be reimbursed. So the attorney has reviewed this as well. So.
Good. Good. Questions, or is there a motion for that approval?
Or
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Number 14, WAPA Firm Electric Service Contract.
Yes, we'll try to be brief on this. It gets really deep really quick. So, but basically, the electric industry has begun separating the green attributes from renewable power and selling those on a separate market. We still get the kilowatt hours, but we can no longer really say that we have solar or wind or hydropower unless we also either purchase those credits or we own the windmill or something ourselves. So because a third of our power comes from WAPA, we have roughly a third of our power that is hydro. And we can, thus far we've been claiming that as being basically a third renewable power. WAPA has now allowed those of us who have that power that we can separate that off and then sell those green credits if we choose, or we can use them. So that's really what this amendment is to the WAPA agreement. So that's what we're approving here tonight. Along with that, because WAPA did that, Missouri River Energy created a system whereby we can buy and sell amongst each other, amongst the communities. And if there's a surplus, Missouri River then can sell that into the market. So for our third, each year we could basically profit $30,000 to $35,000 for our allotment of that. So that's a different issue. Although I would take any feedback if that's something we desire to basically, it's called retire those credits on our own and claim that, or sell back in, help out other utilities if need be, or sell into the market essentially, so.
So what's the benefit for us to retire it financially versus selling it for the $35,000?
We can then claim that a third of our power is renewable. We do have a separate program that we've been utilizing for the balance, for the 2/3. We've had a couple customers sign on to that. One industrial customer, Staples, has purchased their other 2/3 for the last couple of years, and I think that's a few $1,000s a year for them to do that. And then, you know, they have other company-wide initiatives for landfill waste and things like that, and they desire to have a 100% renewable portfolio. So that's essentially we could say that basically a third of our portfolio is renewable. But financially, it's the $35,000.
So you're estimating that we would sell it in the market? That was 35?
Yeah. Iowa has no mandate at this point. Some states have minor. Minnesota has a pretty significant mandate.
So if the mandate came down, can we change?
This is a yearly decision.
Okay.
Yeah. And we can't bank them for future years should Iowa change, you know, do something, so year to year. So, regardless, need to approve that. Tell them.
Need a motion for that, Mayor?
We do for the amendment number 2.
So moved. Support.
Any other questions or comments? All those in favor signify by saying yes.
Yes.
Opposed? Motion carries. Where my voice goes totally away, we'll do administrative reports. Earl?
Yeah, first of all, I share with the council a note we received from Donna Kurtzleben. To the Orange City Council, thank you for your willingness to design and create the new walking path through Vets Park. Living so close to the park, we're able to watch the progress from start to finish. Once the path opened, we quickly noticed the thoughtful planning that went into weaving it through the entire park, connecting it to the existing north path and providing multiple access points. I walk the path several times a week, appreciate the smooth surface. It's clear that many others are enjoying it too. It's wonderful to see other walkers, joggers, parents with strollers, kids on scooters, wheelchair users, and children who ride the school bus morning and afternoon, all benefiting from this great addition. Thank you again for investing in another great way for our community to enjoy Vets Park. Sincerely, Donna Kurtzleben.
Nice.
So very nice. Just a few other things going on. Top Notch Tree Removal is working on that contract that we have, about 125 trees. They thought 7 to 10 working days they would have most of it out. We are working with our insurance agents on some claims. One to Vets Memorial. One of the monuments fell down there, so that's being worked on. As well as the playground assessment centers here today. Kent and Noah spent time with an adjuster today looking at the playground, the Vets Memorial, but we're also potentially getting some payout on trees in our city parks, cemetery, and right-of-way. So we may see some reimbursement for some of the costs that we have, and maybe even some funds that we could apply to some new trees. Noah and I have talked a little bit about a tree replacement plan. That's one of the things that Ruth mentioned as well. So the cemetery as well as the parks and city-owned right-of-way are there places we should be making plans for replacement of trees. So we are doing that, as well as one of the other things I picked up that she mentioned, the concern about grave packing. It's one of the things the guys are working on into the fall, going back and fill in the graves where they have settled in, and so there's some more of that work needs to be done. So we do recognize the need to do that. Windmill Park, obviously a lot of activity going on there. We anticipate the sculptures to be placed maybe midweek, maybe Wednesday, and then the planting on the Thursday and Friday. They hope to get or Friday and Saturday get to as much of the tulip bulb plantings as they can, and park staff as well as volunteers are working on the rest of the tulip beds as well. So you'll see a lot of The ground being prepared for tulips. We've heard from Quickstar that they anticipate a November 13 opening. Just an update that Arts Council will be has an interim leader, Alicia Halber. Amy Andrulowicz has resigned that position. So, yeah, looking forward to seeing where the Arts Council goes with that. And then a reminder that there's a council forum at 6:30 this evening at Casella. Those are the notes that I have.
Good, thank you. Earl. Any questions for Earl? Janet?
Well, I will say I did see a sneak peek of the cemetery software,
Oh, good.
and it's going to look really nice, but hopefully in the next few months.
Okay. Good, excellent. So is Kent still in the hallway? Does he have anything?
I'm good.
Okay. Thanks. Jim?
No.
Matt?
Good, thank you.
Kurt?
Hopefully something quick. Just an update that city staff did receive a 100% voluntary annexation form from Team Investment for the property where all the dirt's being moved, where all the question marks are coming from. We talked to the property owners adjacent to the north, both people with farm ground and with Balkamas. Neither one of them are wanting to annex at this time to town. So the city would have the option of doing an 80-20 annexation. But with talking with the state and the staff, they're recommending the state probably until there's agreement to go north for development to annex them, but not to annex any of those private parcels, just to keep it easier at this step. Because first we don't know how the state would look at it because it's not creating an island, and it's always about islands when they annex. So I guess we're going to move forward with a 100% annexation unless council wants us to look at other options before we apply for that. It's a 100% non-urbanized annexation is a one meeting deal. We do it by resolution. We send it to the county and to the Secretary of State, and it's done. 80-20 is more of a drug out, and I think our best option right now is just to do the 100% voluntary move forward unless you guys think differently. So.
Questions for Kurt? Good.
Okay.
Good.
Yeah,
I think that's okay,
yeah,
right?
sounds
I mean, we don't need that on the
action
agenda
that.
or anything,
So
okay?
that'll just come at the next meeting.
Okay,
All right.
good,
Thank you.
good. Thanks, Kurt. Council, Brett?
None.
None. Daryl?
Heard multiple compliments seconding Donna's thoughts about the sidewalk and the safety that they're seeing for children going to the park and to games and
Yeah?
Nope.
Brett?
No.
Nothing?
I guess I did think of one.
Oh, you did.
Flag
One,
football.
one chance.
Yeah. Flag football wrapped up, and our rec department does a great job with Northwestern football. And a lot of kids spread all across town between Northwestern and Unity and Betts Park. And it's fun to see. I think there were some games where the Northwestern guys were more excited than the kids. So it was fun to see.
That's good. What ages is that?
All their second and third, fourth and fifth.
Second through sixth.
Is it second through sixth?
Yeah, you were good. The old kids get to play at.
Do any of them
Colton
want to
Field, so
tackle instead of grab the flag?
There's a couple of them.
it was our kids.
Flag. Okay, motion to adjourn? All those in favor signify by saying yes.
Yes.